In California, a federal appeals court has shot down the state's ban on the sale of semi-automatic firearms to Americans under the age of 21. The court ruling it as unconstitutional and that it violated the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. It was in 2019 when the rule took place, raising the minimum age for rifle and shotgun sales from 18 to 21 in that state. The law came in response to failures from Congress to pass gun control laws. John?
Thank you, Bianca. Well, joining us now is Second Amendment advocate and editor at BearingArms.com, Cam Edwards. Great to have you back on the show, Cam. Great to see you.
Hey, thanks so much for the invite, John.
Always, I think our audience always appreciates, you probably know more about this stuff than anyone out there in the game right now, and I wanted to talk to you about what this judge said. Here is the ruling from the judge. Quote, America would not exist without the heroism of young adults who fought and died in our Revolutionary Army. Today, we affirm that our Constitution still protects that right that enabled their sacrifice, the right of young adults to keep and bear arms, end quote. I don't know about you, but it gives me chills to read something like that.
It does, especially from the Ninth Circuit. The big question is going to be whether or not this decision stands or whether or not the state of California will appeal to a broader panel of judges there in the Ninth Circuit, which does have a history of upholding virtually every gun control law that comes before it. But in this case, this three-judge panel got it right, or at least two of the three judges got it right, in stating that this ban on sales of commonly owned firearms, right? We're talking about modern sporting rifles, the most commonly sold rifle in the country today, that banning 20, 19, and 18-year-olds from being able to purchase those firearms when they can actually possess them under California law does violate their constitutional rights. As the judge noted, if you've got the right to keep and bear, that infers that you've got the right to buy one of these firearms as well.
We know this won't be the end of it. I would imagine we'll see more legislation, as you indicated, with a private appeal from the state. But you also talked about the Supreme Court. And yesterday, the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, made an appearance at a grade school and spoke of his concern. He seems to think that the Supreme Court is going to revoke the open carry ban in New York City. Take a listen.
This is a significant issue for our city. It is the right to carry. After what we saw the Supreme Court did on abortions, we should be very afraid.
Interesting that he brought up abortion there. Has nothing to do with the Second Amendment. One of those things actually is in the Constitution. The other one is not. But I digress. What was your reaction to those comments, Cam?
Yeah, I rolled my eyes. This is a guy who actually campaigned for mayor of New York City by saying that he was going to ditch his private security and he would carry a gun to work, which I guess is okay because he's special, right? But he doesn't want the average New Yorker to have that same ability. He thinks that people should be very afraid if we, the people, have the right to protect ourselves. Well, New Yorkers are already afraid, and they're afraid because of the rising violent crime. Major crimes continue to increase under Mayor Adams' watch. And meanwhile, the law-abiding New Yorker who just wants to be able to protect herself and her kids on the streets can't do so because it is considered a violent felony offense to carry a firearm without a permit in New York City. And the average New Yorker cannot obtain one of those permits. Compare that to 42 states across this country, which have what we call shall issue laws, meaning if you meet the requirements, you get your concealed carry license. 25 states are now constitutional carry. So if you can legally own a gun, you can legally carry that firearm. And frankly, it's sad and pathetic that the mayor of New York City would be so proud to talk about the steps that he is going to take to continue depriving residents of their constitutionally protected rights.
Well, you hit. I can't really add anything to that, Cam. You said it so well. I do think it'll be interesting to see how the Supreme Court weighs in on this issue. Again, no comparison to the Roe v. Wade issue, but again, Eric Adams for you, the mayor of New York City. Great to see you, Cam Edwards. We appreciate your time and great to have you back on the show with us.
Always enjoyed the invitation. Thanks so much, John.